But November is also Alpha-1 Awareness Month. This past weekend, the QC group Open Arms for Alpha-1 held a walk at South Park Mall. Alpha-1 is a genetic condition. It can result in serious lung or liver disease. It's passed down from parents to children, and right now there is no cure. About 1 in every 2,500 Americans have Alpha-1, but the vast majority of people are actually undiagnosed. In fact, we just talked about COPD. Often Alpha-1 can be misdiagnosed as that instead. That's why spreading awareness is so important. And it's why we have 2 members of the local Open Arms for Alpha-1 group joining us now in the Current. It's Jackie and Tyler English. Thank you both so much for being here with us.
Thanks for having us.
All right, let's start with Alpha-1. I mean, what are some of the symptoms of this condition?
A lot of times is like when you're growing up and have sick all the time, bronchitis, chronic cough, asthma. Some people are just, misdiagnosed with asthma over the years. Shortness of breath, chronic cough. Those are some of the things. On the lung side, the liver side is, a lot of times on the liver, it's not, they don't catch it till it's almost too late. And now they kind of suggest you get in a yearly exam if you do have Alpha-1 to keep an eye on that liver, because usually, it don't show up in lab work until I'm on stage 1 fibrosis, but I was fortunate enough to be in a study, and through that study they tested me. So I found out I'm at stage 1 fibrosis, which goes to 4 stages, and then after stage 4, it's considered cirrhosis. So they just like to kind of keep an eye on both there.
Well, it makes sense why it would be, undiagnosed or misdiagnosed, listening to some of these symptoms and how similar it is to other things.
Right.
So, Jackie, could you share a little bit of your story with us?
Sure. Over the years, I kind of was sick often and many times, and then in 2010, when I was I'm sorry, I'm going to go back to when I was 29 and before that even, and I was pregnant with my son Tyler here, and I kept getting short of breath, and I kept thinking it was from the extra weight, from the pregnancy and everything. And I remember telling my OB doctor, hey, I think I might have asthma, I'm short of breath, I'm not sure. And she just gave me an inhaler, and that was it. I mean, I wasn't even tested to see if I had asthma, at the time. And then down the year, 10 years later, well, throughout that time, I often got sick and had bouts of shortness of breath and stuff. And then finally, one day in 2010, I was just cleaning off my kitchen table. And just doing that, I thought I was going to pass out. I had to sit down and catch my breath. And I thought, okay, I've been telling myself over the years, I need to go to the doctor, And I finally went to a regular doctor then and said, I think I need to be seen by a pulmonologist. I'm having some breathing issues.
So you get this diagnosis. Mm-hmm. What has it meant for your life?
It was a big game changer. At first you don't know what to be scared, or, should I be scared? What should I do? I know I had Tyler with me when I was diagnosed, and I thought, gosh, should I be upset? But I don't want to upset him. I was too afraid of. So I did what, of course, all of us aren't supposed to do, go home and Googled. Well, she had sent me to a pulmonologist, and then after I was finally diagnosed, I went home, and I had about a month's time before she sent me to a specialist, so I had that time to kind of read up and figure out what was going on. And after I read life expectancy and everything, I'm like, okay, maybe I don't want to read anymore, And kind of just waited for that first appointment. And then I was fortunate enough after being diagnosed that I got an email that there's an education day in Des Moines for Alpha-1 Education Day. And I went to that. My cousin went with that. And from there on, I seen support group leaders and all these people that, were knowledgeable about Alpha-1. And I thought, that's what I want to do, So I kind of,
yeah. And
learned
you guys,
all I could and became a support group leader then.
And that leads us to today. You guys have the Open Arms group here in the Quad Cities and in Peoria. You had a walk this weekend in South Park Mall. Tyler, what do you want people who are watching to take away when it comes to Alpha-1?
Well, the biggest takeaway that I would like to throw out there is that it's been said before, it's COPDs out there. People are constantly being known to have it, but Alpha-1 is rarely diagnosed. Instead of it being a rare disease, it's just rarely known. And it's most of the time people just assume it's asthma. That's what it was like for me. Doctor went through, said I had a lower lung function, set me up for an inhaler, said I had asthma, sent me on my way. And I don't know how long it took until how long was it that we were?
Well, then I had him tested. I didn't know automatically with me having both bad genes from each of my parents that my kids automatically were carriers.
Wow.
And that's what I want to add, actually, when I'm talking about carriers. Like, unlike cystic fibrosis where carriers could just carry on the gene, with Alpha-1 carriers can get sick as well. Yeah, so that they have to look out for that. And then it was shortly after that that I got my kids tested, and had testing done for them.
And that's why you guys not only have the group, but why you're joining us today. I mean, to just try to get awareness out there that this is something that should be taken really seriously. And if you
Right.
feel like you have a problem, just go see someone.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Really quickly, if people want to reach out, can they just reach out through Facebook, your group?
Right, our group, they can email us at openarmsforalpha1@gmail.com. They can find lots of information on the Alpha-1 Foundation website. But yeah, we'd love people to reach out for us. We're trying to build our group back up. It's sad to say that many of our support group members have passed away, and we're trying to get that group kind of built back up again. And I wanted to shout out to my ex-co-leader, Deb, who co-leaded with me since 2011, and she just had to step down this year, and then that's when my son Tyler stepped up and is my helper. Well, he's helped me all these years. He's been my caregiver as long as my husband and the rest of my family, but he's stepped up and became leader and helping out there. It's a big help.
Well, thank you guys both so much for your time and for coming in today.
Thank you.
If people want to reach out to you, we made it easy for you guys at home. We have all the information. If you want to connect with Open Arms, we have all the information at WQAD.com. Just click on the As Seen on TV tab at the top of the homepage.